And when you're needed, you have to give. And for most people to give what they're capable of, they have to fill up their cup. And you can't pour from an empty cup. Perfection minus self-compassion equals guilt. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to replace perfection with grace. Hey guys, hey OTL, it's Matt Johnson back for another podcast. I'm recording this solo today going into the 4th of July week. And I thought this topic would be really relevant. I'm running a health challenge at an organization right now, and I think it's an important topic that maybe doesn't get a lot of press and a lot of sex appeal, and it's not really trendy, but it's about the chase for perfection. And so many people, as they meet me for the first time, they may think I eat perfect, my habits are perfect, my family is perfect health, we don't miss workouts, we eat all organic food. And that's actually not even close to the case. And as I was coming up with this topic today, the theme is perfection equals guilt. So as we go into this 4th of July weekend, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, sometimes we feel guilty when we take care of ourselves. I remember I was coaching a client, and he was 33 years old at the time, very successful, running his own business, had several employees. And one of his challenges was he was so stressed out, and it was leading to gut health issues, which was leading to health issues, which then spirals. And I told him, I said, I want you to start getting a massage. And he said, yeah, no problem. The massage place is actually next door to my office. So there's no excuse. It's right next door. You can get a massage anytime. And after weeks, and I'd come back and I'd say, how'd the massage go? Well, I had to cancel it, or I had to move it, or it didn't work out. I kept asking questions. And the question I asked him is, why are you really not getting a massage? You like it, you know you need it, you need the recovery, you feel good after. And he said, I feel guilty. I feel guilty that my wife is at home with our child. I feel guilty that my workers are at work. I feel guilty that I have clients that I need to serve. And I had to reframe it for him, because that guilt is somewhat selfish when he's actually thinking he is being selfless. See, one of the things when it comes to our health, when it comes to doing things for ourselves, it can be the most selfless act we do. As you've heard me speak before, if you've ever heard me speak, or if you haven't, one of my ending stories is about how much we're needed. And when you're needed, you have to give. And for most people to give what they're capable of, they have to fill up their cup. And you can't pour from an empty cup. And so as we talk today about perfection equals guilt, as we go into the 4th of July week, many people think, well, I'm going to fall off the wagon, or I'm not going to be perfect, or I'm going to gain some weight. I don't know what to eat. I've been doing so good. Like I said, I'm doing this health challenge with an organization. We're not even doing the challenge this week. But perfection isn't the goal even when you're doing a challenge, because perfection's not possible. I wrote a couple things down. When you feel guilty, it's usually because you've set these standards, or you have these values or vision that you don't live up to. And they're usually impossible standards. Like, I'm going to have a perfect golf swing. There's no such thing. I'm going to have a perfect round of golf, or I'm going to play a perfect sport activity, or I'm going to live a perfect life, or have perfect health, or have a perfect job. I played college golf. I love golf. A perfect round would technically be 54, 18 under. It's never been shot, never will be shot. That's a birdie every hole. People can make a birdie on any hole, but to make 18 in a row is 99% impossible. Perfection isn't possible. And perfection leads to guilt. We see social media, these perfect bodies, these perfect lives, these perfect diet plans, perfect exercise, and it's setting us up for failure. So we fall short. Then it creates this chronic guilt. In some cases, I have guilt, so I'm not going to do anything. It paralyzes us. We compare ourselves. We don't know how to say no. We're running this rat race. We're in a hurry. We have no time. We have to do everything for everybody. And so we're going to reframe it today. Perfection minus self-compassion equals guilt. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to replace perfection with grace. And we're going to put grace towards the top. Grace gives us the space to grow. Balance keeps you steady while you do it. I don't love the word balance. I think we need to get out of balance from time to time, and it challenges us. It gets us to maybe take action. But we do need some harmony. We need the yin and the yang. If we're going really hard, we need a little bit of recovery. If we're going too slow, we need to increase the pace. But I think all of us need more grace because we need more space. We don't have to earn rest. We don't have to earn a time where we recharge. This is required to thrive. We require recovery to be our best. And so when you think about where we're at, we're in a hurry, we're doing too many things, all the trends, the diets, the fixes, the fads, the stress, the bodies we want, the weight we want, the health we want, our life, our family, our finances. It's a lot. And so going into this week, I want us to reframe. You're probably doing some great things. If you've been listening to this podcast, you're interested in it, you want to be better, you want to have your health. Now from this point, you realize you have the power to feel your best, but nowhere on that journey as we guide you wherever you're at, do we think you have to be perfect? The food target isn't perfect. When we talk about exercise, there's no one right way. Sometimes we don't get 8 hours of sleep. Actually, very regularly, we don't get 8 hours of sleep. But we want to reframe and say, we want to feel our best. We want to give our best. We're needed, which sometimes requires us to take a break. Maybe we're going to have some hot dogs, brats, burgers. Maybe you're going to have a couple cocktails. Take a break, recharge, be grateful. That's where I'm at. As I record this, I'm heading out of town for the next week, shutting the computer, away message. I need a little break. Taking my 3 kids across the country, going to Montana. It isn't going to be easy. If you fly with 3 kids under 9, it's going to be a challenge, but I'm grateful for it. It's needed. And that hustle fades. That pace that we can't sustain will fade, but grace will sustain. We require ourselves to have grace. Maybe you got 5 pounds that you really need to lose. This isn't the week. Maybe your diet hasn't been where you want. You haven't felt your best. You've gotten off some of your exercise routines. We can get there. We don't have to get there overnight. So here's the message. Perfection equals guilt. So we're going to replace it with grace. We're going to give ourselves that self-compassion. 4th of July to me is a big deal. We're an amazing country. I'm very grateful for that. Happy birthday to America. Thanks to everyone who's served or serving or protecting our country, especially my Uncle Pete, served in the Army, and then our favorite coach, Coach Tab, who served in the Vietnam War. So thank you for everyone who served. Happy 4th of July. Enjoy this week. Give yourself that space. Allow yourself that space. And we'll see you again next time.